Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. I hope you had a happy and healthy and a wonderful Thanksgiving. We're very glad that you're with us this evening to welcome in Shabbat together. Shabbat Shalom, Cantor. How are you?
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
Shabbat Shalom, Kevin. How are you? Our service will begin. Our Shabbat service will begin now with America the Beautiful. That may be found on page 377 of your prayer book, America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesties, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Our service continues now with the blessing for the Shabbat candles. That may be found on pages 2 and 3 of your prayer book. You are welcome to rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with your mitzvot and commands us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Our service continues now on page 4. Vayhi erev, vayhi voker, yom hashishi. And there was evening, and there was morning, the 6th day.
Vayachol hashamayim ve'haaretz v'chotzi ba'am. Vayachol hashamayim ve'haaretz v'chotzi ba'am. Vayachol Elohim b'yom hashvi'i v'lachlo asher asa. Vayishbot b'yom hashvi'i mikol malachto asher asa. Vayachol hashamayim ve'haaretz v'chotzi ba'am. Vayachol hashamayim ve'haaretz v'chotzi ba'am. Vavarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i ויקדש אותו. יבוא שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות, ויפלו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויפלו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם.
You are welcome to rise as we continue with Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pori hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kadsho b'avahu v'ratzon lehinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki lo yom techilo למקרא קודש, זכר לציון מצרים, קיוונו ובחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל אומרים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen.
L'chaim. You may be seated. Our service continues now on page 8. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. Our service continues now on page 24 with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShabbat, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachem l'shalom, Malachem l'shalom, Malachem Elyon, Imelech Malchei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachoni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Bless me with peace, O messengers of peace, angels of the Most High, Majesty of majesties, Holy One of blessing. Our service continues now. Actually, before we go on, just a little note. You may notice if you have your prayer book in front of you on page 25, there is a section from the Torah. It talks about Jacob and the ladder stretching from heaven, from earth to heaven, and actually Jacob's ladder. And actually, that is this week's Torah portion. So it's very appropriate, that section that's in there this evening. All right, let us continue now with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 26 of the prayer book.
Yitkadam, Shemei Rabbah, Yalimad Yifrachilote, Yamlif Lachote, Bechayechon Yom Echon, Ufkayedechot Beit Yisrael, Bagalo, Uvizman Karif V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach, Le'olam u'le'al me'al maya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitpa'al, Yitraman, V'yitnaseh, V'yitador, V'yitala, V'yitalal, Shemei Nikudisha, Le'ela min kol mirchata, Mashirato, Tushbichato, V'nechemata, Damiran mi'alema, V'yimru, Amen.
We rise now for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship, page 28 of the prayer book. Please be seated. Our service continues now on page 30 with the Ma'ariv Aravim prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim. Behochma poteach she'arim, uvidvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, vechoshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Our service continues now on page 32. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel. by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Our service continues now on page 34 with the Shema. You are welcome to rise.
Shem kivod malchuto leolam vaed.
Please be seated. Our service continues now with Vehafta, page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta Baham, B'shivtecha, B'vetecha, Uv'lechtecha, V'derech, Uv'shachbecha, Uv'kumecha, U'kshartam leot al yadecha, V'hayu litotafot b'neinecha, U'ktavtam, Amezuzot betecha, Uv'yisharecha, Leman tizkeru, Vasitem et kol mitzvotai, Vitem kedoshim lelohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Our service continues now on page 40 with Mi Chamocha.
Mi chamocha ba'alim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, norato ilot osefele, norati ilot osefele, malchot echoro v'alecha, b'kei ayom lifnei Moshe Miriam, Zaylim, Anu ve'om elom, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed.
Our service continues now on page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Our service continues now on page 44 with Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת בדורותם ברית עולם. תשמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת בדורותם ברית עולם. בני אורן בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת בדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת בדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת בדורותם ברית עולם.
Our service will continue now with the tefillah, beginning on page 46. You are welcome to rise.
Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevi Geula livnei v'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo bi'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Michayei hakol atah harav l'Hoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem. Mechakel chayim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, umatir asurim, umkayem emunato lishenei afar. Michamocha ba'givurot, Umido melech, melech memit, umechaya, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום, יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Our service continues now on page 60. You're welcome to be seated. We continue on page 60 now with Shalom Rav, our prayer for peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. Ki atom melech Adon, lechol ha'shalom. Ki atom melech Adon, lechol ha'shalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. V'tov be'enecha nivarech et amcha Yisrael, b'charet u'b'chol sha'am b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
I'll be reading now on page 61 of the prayer book. This will be the prayer for our country. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We turn ahead now to page 259, for the prayer for the state of Israel. Sha'alu shalom Yerushalayim, yishlayo ohavayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. Avinu shebashamayim, sur Yisrael v'goelo. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. We turn back now to page 253 in the prayer book. As we prepare to offer the Misha Berach prayer now, we call to mind all those in our lives in need of healing, whether that be a healing of body, of mind, or of spirit. If there is someone in your life in need of a healing prayer, feel free to type in their name now on the YouTube comments so that we may think of them and pray for them as well. Misha Berach, Avotenu, V'imotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, V'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, V'Leah, Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. May the blessed Holy One be filled with compassion, for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May the source of strength, oh, bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We take a few moments now for our own silent prayers and reflections.
Israel, Ve'imru, Amen. V'yoko Israel, Ve'imru, Amen.
Thank you, Cantor and Kevin. And it is now the fourth Friday of November. That means it's time for anniversary blessings. So if you are celebrating a wedding anniversary in the month of November, please type in your names, the date of your anniversary, and you can tell us how long you are married for right in our YouTube comments. So name, date, and number of years married. Go right ahead, and I will offer the blessing. Ani ledodi vedodi li. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine, from the Song of Songs. O God, eternal source of blessing, we turn to in gratitude for the strength and devotion that has preserved and sustained these couples and permitted them to reach this day. Many and varied have been their experiences since the day of their wedding. Many have been the mingled occasions of victory and defeat, of fulfillment and disappointment. In joys and trials alike, they have supported one another. May God shelter you by day, give you rest at night, and send good companions to go with you on the way. May this hour offer a happy Amen to the hopes and prayers of your wedding day and the joyous years to come, as we say Amen. And we are pleased to celebrate the wedding anniversary of Francis and Howard Mayer, November 21st, 49 years. Big one for you guys next year. Mazel tov. Congratulations. So let us join together now in singing the Shechianu in honor of those celebrating anniversaries.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
We will continue now with our Torah service that may be found on page 244. Page 244, we continue with Ein Kamocha.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai v'yein k'masecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha b'chodol v'adon Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch Le'olam va'ed Adonai oz le'mo yiten Adonai yivarech et omo v'shalom.
Please rise as we open the ark.
Avarachamim etiva v'tzonecha et Zion tibne chomot Yerushalayim tibne chomot Yerushalayim
We continue on page 246, Ki Mitzion.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, U'devar Adonai Yerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, B'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai iti, Rama Shemo Yachtav, Lecha Adonai HaGedola, VeHaGevora, VeHaTiferet, VeHaNetzach, VeHaOz, Kichol Bashamayim Uvaretz, Kichol Bashamayim Uvaretz, Lecha Adonai HaMamlocha, Yamit Na'aseh Lechol Erosh.
Please be seated. This week's Torah portion, Vayetze, continues the story of our ancestor Jacob. Jacob was the father of 12 sons who became the 12 tribes of Israel and one daughter named Dinah. Jacob's name was later changed to Israel, since as the father of the 12 tribes, he was the ancestor of all the people of Israel. Now, if we take a look at Jacob's life as a whole, we could say that he went through a few stages. Jacob progresses and matures. First, he is young, self-serving, and makes some unethical decisions. Next, he faces the consequences of his choices. And finally, he matures and becomes an adult, aware of his responsibilities, the world, and those around him. Now, in his progression from youth to adulthood, Jacob has two dreams. These dreams are epiphanies, moment of clarity. They mark a new chapter in his life, and they are moments of transition. In his youth, Jacob was a trickster. He had his twin brother Esau, and Jacob, that name means heel grabber because Esau was born first, and Jacob came out grabbing onto the heel of his brother because he wanted to pull him back, and Jacob wanted to be first. In his trickster phase, Jacob then proceeds to steal his brother's birthright and blessing, and has to flee for his life. In this week's Torah portion, Jacob finds himself in the desert alone. He lies down on the hard ground to sleep, with only a rock as a pillow. And he has a dream. He sees a ladder stretching up to heaven. Angels are going up and down on this ladder. Then God tells Jacob that God will protect him and ensure that he returns to Israel in peace. This dream is in some ways a prophecy for Jacob. Like the angels going up and down the ladder, Jacob in his own life will have his ups and downs, as we all do. Jacob will eventually make his way to Haran, where he will meet Rachel, who he would like to marry. And Jacob, the trickster, will be tricked. He wanted to marry Rachel, but the woman hidden under the veil will be Leah. This, by the way, is why the traditional Jewish wedding ceremony includes the Bedekin ceremony. Bedekin means to check or examine. So the groom lifts the veil of the bride before the ceremony to make sure it's the right woman he wants to marry. So Jacob, after being tricked, knows what it is like to be his brother Esau. But the dream of Jacob's ladder gave him faith that God will remain with him on his journey. And in next week's Torah portion, Jacob will have a second dream. In this dream, he will wrestle with an angel. He is renamed from Jacob, meaning heel grabber, to Israel, the ancestor of our people. Shortly after the wrestling match, Jacob will reconcile with his brother, apologize, and the family will be reunited. Jacob has now entered adulthood, overcoming his misdeeds and embracing his destiny as the father of our people. And of course, like Jacob, we too can mature and change. We can embrace who we are and who we wish to become. And so now Cantor will be chanting the beginning of the Torah portion. I'll be following along here in the Torah scroll. This evening, I'll be offering the Torah blessings, and Cantor will call me by my Hebrew name.
Yamod la Torah, Harav Yitzchak ben Eliezer.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Vayetze Yaakov miber Shava vayelech Charana vayivkaf b'makom vayahalen sham kivo hashemesh vayikach me'avnei hamakom vayasam v'rashotav vayishkav b'makom hahu vayachalom v'hinei sulam mutzav artza v'rosho magia hashamayma v'hinei malachei Elohim olim v'yardim bo v'hinei Adonai nitzav alav v'yomar Adonai ani Adonai Elohei Avraham Avicha Elohei Yitzchak Haaretz Asher Ata Shochev Alecha Lecha Etnena Ulzarecha V'haya Zarecha Ka'afar Haaretz Ufaratzta Yama Vakedme Vitzafona Vanegba V'nivrechu V'cha Kol Mishpechot Ha'adama Uvzarecha V'hinei Anochi Imach Ushmarticha B'chol Asher Telech V'hashevoticha El Ha'adama Hazot Ki Lo Ezechavcha Ad Asher Im Asiti Et Asher Dibarti Lach.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Yasher Koach, thank you, Cantor, for our Torah reading this evening. Now you are welcome to rise as we give honor to the Torah scroll.
V'zod ha'Torah she'sa Moshe lifnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai miyad Moshe. La 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 la
Our service continues now with Eitz Chaim, page 256. We will now open the ark.
Eitz Chaim hi lemachzikim bo v'tomei Yameinu Kikedem.
Our service continues now with the Aleinu prayer, page 282.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tet gedola yotzeh breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haraksot, velo somanu kimishmechot ha'adama, shelo samchatenu kahem, vigor aleinu kichol hamonam, va'anachnu koreim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lechrei melech, malchei hamachim, hakadosh baruch hu.
Please be seated.
Shehuno teshamayim v'yoser haaretz, u'moshev yikaro b'shamayim ima'al, u'shkinatu zo, v'gavhem Elohim, Eloheinu fenot, emet malkeinu efes ulatom, Kakatov, B'Torato, V'yadatoyom, V'hashevota, Elevamecha. Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, B'shamayim v'mal, V'yoretz, Mitwachat enod, v'nemar v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, Hashemo,
We turn in the prayer book now to page 294. As we prepare to recite the Kaddish prayer, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember for yahrzeit Bruce Baum, Joseph Dragutsky, Gussie Goldstein, Molly Goodman, Larry Grisak, George Castens, Max Kotzen, Mary Laufer, Leonard Leaf, Ann Lynn, Mildred Mashberg, Sam Mineta, Esther Nahr, Gary Scharfman, Paul Scherling, Sarah Schneiderman, Robert Singer, Saul Slotnick, Diana Stein, Bernard William Steinberger, Bernard Swedelson, Paula Timpanaro, Dorothy Weintraub, William Zaslavsky, Gertrude Bays, Arthur Birsch, Harry Gottsman, Sylvia Jaffe, Frederick Lesser, Sidney Lux, Mildred Schoenberger, and Beatrice Yaverbaum. Please rise now as we recall our loved ones and we join in reciting the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'al gala uvizman kari v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam ul'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yahei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen.
Thank you very much, Cantor and Kevin, for our beautiful music this evening. I hope everyone was able to watch and enjoy the East Brunswick Interfaith Thanksgiving service that took place on Tuesday. It was pre-recorded and spliced, and technological miracles took place. If you haven't seen yet, would like to enjoy it, it may be found in the EBTV YouTube page or EBTV Facebook page, and you can enjoy that. This coming Tuesday, the 1st of December at 7:30 p.m., we will have a virtual healing service on Zoom. Please check your temple bulletin. You can join us for that, a healing service for all those in need and for this difficult times that we continue to live through. Friday, the 4th of December at 6:30 p.m. will be our Zoom Hanukkah Tot Shabbat. You can check your bulletin for the link for that. And on next Friday, the 4th at 8 p.m., our virtual Shabbat service with guest soloists Gloria Kerniski and Carrie Hackett. We're looking forward to some beautiful music then. And looking ahead, Tuesday, December 8th at 7:30 p.m., the DPEC will welcome virtually author Mark Newhouse, writer of historical fiction set during the Holocaust. So let us conclude our Shabbat service now in honor of Thanksgiving with God Bless America, followed by the Borei Motzi.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Amen.
L'chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Everyone, stay safe and healthy. Shabbat Shalom.